Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you for inviting me back. My husband, Dave Walker, and I come back and forth from Winter Haven, Florida, where it's 70 degrees today and sunny, to Salt Lake several times a year, and I've been asked to speak when I come here, and I so love it. And I love to speak. I'll talk about dog food. But what I really love is being able to communicate some of these concepts that I've either struggled with or enjoyed, because I know they're the same things that you guys think about and struggle with and enjoy. And if I can say something in a way that supports your understanding and your forward movement, then my life has purpose and meaning. So, guys, be with me, because I don't want to go away with no purpose and meaning. And the other thing is, and Reverend Donald, this is for you. I know this is the first Sunday of the year. This is the first Sunday of the fundamentals. This is the Sunday when we teach about the thing itself. I mean, my gosh, if you don't start there and do it well, the year's a bust, right? And so I kind of went, I gotta do this right. And so I read, and I looked at videos of other people's versions of it, and I read, and I wrote, and I outlined, and I mind mapped, and finally I went, oh, forget it. Here's what this comes down to for me. First of all, whatever damage I do today, he's got 13 weeks to correct in fundamentals. So, freedom. But I'm going to give you the Science of Mind gospel according to Carol when it comes to the thing itself. And so, first of all, when I first heard the term the thing itself, I immediately went to that, science fiction movie, The Thing? And I thought, this is creepy. And then I read a little of Ernest and realized that he was struggling with, what do we call it? You know, it's not a he, it's not a she, it's both, it's neither. It's big, it's vast, it's infinite, but it's personal at the same. The thing itself. And so Carol's version of it boiling down to, and I'll give you Ernest's too. We know there's creation, and we know that we act upon it because we're all here. We've all accomplished these minor miracles of knowing that something is, and then it demonstrating in the material. Our practitioners work on learning how to do that well. That's why it serves to spend some time with them. I generally do it by default. I'm unconscious most of the time. My brain's chattering. It's creating bad stuff, relationship problems, food problems, weight problems, traffic problems. It's doing that. But when I get conscious, the little bit of time I can get conscious on this planet, there are no relationship problems. There's only love and caring and diversity. There's no weight problems. There's me deciding how I want to feel in my body. There's no traffic problems. It's everyone just trying to get where they need to go in a timely manner. There are no problems. They're just demonstrations of humanity and love. And so I thought, okay, I get it. There is this big, infinite field out there of stuff, and I'll call it energy. And there is this great infinite mind that some have called God, that acts on this great infinite field of energy to bring into being infinite possibilities, i.e., you, me, the lectern, the other people on the road, the stars, the universe. That is the thing itself. Now, how does it do this? Well, it doesn't do it randomly. I don't know if you've noticed. We can plot this movement of the stars and the planets and all that kind of stuff. And we know that in the spring, things will warm up. The snow will eventually disappear. The flowers. There's order in the universe. And if you didn't believe that that was caused by something, you wouldn't be here. You'd be, doing something else, but you wouldn't be here. So we have this infinite mind acting on this infinite range of energy, and it comes down and it creates manifestations in the physical realm. Actually, Ernest says it. I don't often have quotes, but these two I loved. The study of science of mind is a study of first cause, spirit, mind, or that invisible essence, that ultimate stuff and intelligence from which everything comes, the power behind creation, the thing itself. Okay, so that's all fine and good. We've got the thing itself. So what do we do with it? Well, most of the time, our mind, which is an echo, I think that's another Ernest term I picked up, an echo of the infinite mind, creates out of the same stuff of the universe our own demonstrations in life. And our mind creates the same way that the infinite mind does, except we're not infinite. At least we're not infinite in our consciousness. And this is another concept, which thank you so much for asking me to talk today, because I honed in on this. I'm going to assume that the first cause, the creator, is 100% conscious. Therefore, everything that's created out of that infinite energy stuff field is 100% by design, not by default. So here's Carol's little pea brain coming along. Little 1% conscious, little 2% conscious some days. We'll suck it up to 5 on my better days. And I kind of go, you know what? I've learned something about visioning. I've learned something about affirmative prayer. And I also know that if I have a spot right back here in the back of my head where I put my intentions. And that's where my mind goes to work without my having to think about it 24/7, but consciously I put it back there. And it goes, okay, this is what I want to bring into creation. And my mind goes to work on that in its sweet little way. I started to say pitiful way, but that's negative. In its sweet little way, my mind consciously goes to work to create what I want out of this infinite field of possibilities to come down to a material manifestation. Now, practitioners, is that not what you spend years learning to do? Yay, nay? Yes. Thank you. It's magnificent. So honestly, I love our practitioners. They're wonderful. But this is what we all do all the time, except that most of us are doing it unconsciously. We're doing it by default. And there was another quote that I loved that was, the secret to life is learning to think. So learn to think. And this brings up the whole thing about why not just call this God? Well, without a show of hands, how many of you learned to pray as small children, and your version of praying was like asking mommy and daddy for a special treat? It was, please give me this, and please do this, and please have this happen. And it was like you're a victim. You get it. That means you were a good little boy or girl. God gave you what you wanted. You don't get it. That must mean I was bad. Oh, that's a pretty unhealthy way of doing things. It doesn't leave you much agency in life. I'd rather have a relationship with creation that I believe is done from a loving place. And maybe we don't talk enough about love in Science of Mind. I'm not real sure. But this whole thing is set up in such a loving way that there is no differentiation between what I can create and what Selena can create or what Lolly can create, except that we choose to do it and practice and learn and meditate and do the things that we know bring about the result that we want. The good Ernest said, "Some people have healed through prayer while others have not. The answer is not that God has responded to some and not to others, but that some have responded to God more than others." Oh, I was going to set my timer. Y'all are going to have to shut me off. I didn't do it. Now, that's not an indictment. That's an invitation. That's an invitation to a relationship with the thing itself. I mean, if we're part of creation, then we're an echo, we're a reflection of that, and we can learn to work with, to be a better, greater reflection of it. And we create our reality by design. And do we do it very well? Well, probably not most of us. I know I don't. If I had really created my reality by design, I probably wouldn't have a cold this morning. But it slipped up somewhere. I'll blame it on the airplane. The ultimate gift is to learn to think, because that's to learn to live. The law works for us all as we practice it. And the thing itself is called the thing itself in the initial part of the book to differentiate from some old man with a white beard sitting on a throne in the clouds that we have to sacrifice chickens to, or throw virgins into volcanoes, or give up our first crops, or whatever. There's no, you gotta do this, otherwise you're not good enough for it. It's if you do this, if you learn to think and practice, you create the demonstrations consciously rather than unconsciously. And it's as simple as that. And that's your first chapter in fundamentals. I mean, it goes on, and it's really good stuff. And I hope you all take the classes, because there's so much that you can get into. But when you think that this loving creator set things up so that it's all the same for you or me or Rick, the results we create are the results we create out of this field of infinite possibilities. And those of you who are into law of attraction and quantum theory and all this, all we're doing today, as I see it, is finding scientific explanations for bits and pieces of this ancient wisdom. As a matter of fact, I used to take our former minister to task when I first started coming here, because Marty stood up one day and said something about new thought. And I said, there's nothing new about it. This has been around forever. We're just repackaging it. And then I was told, well, it's new thought because you have a new thought every minute. So it's a new thought. This is new thought. You can have a new thought, a new conscious thought. So in this new year, I'm just going to suggest that, the fundamentals are coming up. It would be a great time to look at your beliefs again. And my background is biblical, so I will say, be as a little child. Start and look at what your beliefs are, your true beliefs. Not just your, this is my belief that I put on the wall because it looks good. But what do you really believe? Because if you really believe that you create your life from your mind, then some of you are doing a disservice to yourself just as I'm doing a disservice to myself. So I would say start as a little child this year, looking at those beliefs. Even if you can't take the class, at least get some readings and look at it and look and see if you really believe this. Because if you really believe it, I know you'll act on it and it'll change your life. It will change your life because you will change your life, not because somebody with a magic wand grants a wish. That's not the way it works. You have the magic wand. You are the magic wand. So I would suggest those two things. Start this year as a little child and take your beliefs seriously and act on them and invite me back again.
We just move into that place of quietness again, that place of wholeness and perfection, for that is the truth of the divine. All things are possible through that one presence. And I know that I am part and parcel of that one, just as I know that same truth for everyone here, with access to all knowledge, every resource needed. So I speak this word for myself and everyone, to open my heart in this moment, to open my mind to that download of information from the one presence, that one power. Any problem that I am struggling with, the answer is within. And as I open my mind and my heart, the answers flow to me easily. Every resource I need moves towards me as I open my arms and my mind to it. And it's from this place of creation, when I get quiet, I quiet those voices that want to negate my good, that I receive my highest and best, not sometimes, but always. So I'm grateful for this time together. I'm grateful for this philosophy. As we move into our week, we do so knowing the truth of our beings. So I just release this word in gratitude and joy, as together we say, and so it is.